What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to Second Street. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, and here I am at my local comic book shop, Bases Cards and Comics, right here in Lancaster, California, to bring you all my comic book pull list for the week. Now, if you don't know what a comic book pull list is, that's okay. There should be a video right up there where you can go and learn a little bit more about that. Now, what I typically do is I go over Marvel, DC, then I get into small press and indies, but you know what? We're going to do things a little bit differently here today because, here I am, and I thought I wasn't going to do, these regular pull list videos since, on Mondays I talk a lot about the comic books that are coming out for the week, but you know what? Figured today we're going to do things a little bit different. I didn't get in here yesterday to get all this stuff shot when we were doing the pull list and everything, so we're going to do it a little bit differently here. We're going right off of the rack. That's right. Going to start off right here with one of my favorite series here from AWA Upshot. That is American Ronin, issue number 3. I have really enjoyed this series. It's kind of interesting to see how this one is. It's like this. We've got this like assassin going out, and he's going out to assassinate people. But the way in which they do it, the methods that they use to track their targets and get inside their head is something that's very interesting, very unique. I really like what they're doing there. In case you haven't ever read anything from AWA Upshot, you need to go check them out. They have a website, awastudios.net. I believe I'll leave a link somewhere down there in the description where you can go and check that out. It might be in a pinned comment where you can go and read and preview some of their comic books absolutely free. So you really have nothing to lose, no reason why not to check out some of their comic books, because they do put out a lot of great books that I really do enjoy. Now, let's see, what else do we got here right here within reach right here? We've also got Blade Runner 2029, issue number 1. This is the Sid Mead variant. Sid Mead did the concept artwork for the original Blade Runner movie. I've been pulling these ones the whole time. I've really enjoyed the series. Plus, I like the artwork there. Sid Mead passed away a little over a year ago, so I've still been picking these ones up. They've actually got another Blade Runner series coming out as well. We'll probably get into that here in just a few minutes. Now, the next one that I have got here, I don't see it here. It must have already sold, but Captain America, issue number 26. I'm not reading or pulling this one anymore, but they had, this cover is pretty nice as well if you're reading the King in Black and all that stuff, but they had a book come out that's already sold out here. There's this Alex Ross covers. He does those beautiful covers that had Red Hulk on there. It was really, really nice. Kind of sad that I didn't get a chance to pick that one up, but hey, it's all good. It's all good. So let's go on here down the list, see what else we've got here that I'm going to be reading this week. You can check some of these other books out as well here. I have really been enjoying this one right here. This is on Dark Horse Comics. This is Cyberpunk 2099.
Cyberpunk 2099? Did I seriously just say that?
Trauma Team, issue number 4 of 4. This is the last in this series. Colin Bunn has done a hell of a job writing this series, and the cool thing is because it's tying into this whole universe of Cyberpunk. But what we see here is it's kind of expanding that world, and what's been going on in this story is a violent story, and it's a great story telling of our main character and just some of the things that she has gone through working with Trauma Team and some of those kinds of things. Just really cool stuff. I've really been enjoying this. Kind of sad to see this series come to an end. Kind of sad to see that apparently the video game ain't living up to what the comic book is, and hey, how often does that happen, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next one we've got here. This is Dark Knight's Death Metal, issue number 6. There's only one book left in the main storyline here with Dark Knight's Death Metal. They've got a couple of other books getting ready to come out here in the new year. I believe the last issue comes out January 1st of next year. But let me know down in the comments below. Have you been reading Dark Knight's Death Metal, and what did you think about it? If so, I know there's been a lot of people that have and have not liked it, and hey, I get it. Hey, to each their own, right? To each their own. Moving on, we've got a couple of more here. Another one. Where's the one that I was picking up? Right here. We've got Black Cat, issue number 1. This is a new series, yeah. And here's the thing, here's where I kind of, like I'm not on board with this, but I am getting this number 1 because this cover is pretty nice, but also the thing is like, this series was ongoing. I got the same team on here, and now we've got a new number 1. Why couldn't we just keep the same? Like, you didn't have to end it on issue number 12 out of nowhere. You could have just left it. You could have just left it. We could be reading issue number 13. But anyway, that's something but kind of beside the point. You know, that's minor frustrations. That's no big deal. That's something else. You know, I could go on and on about that, but where's the fun in that, right? I mean, we're supposed to enjoy these things. We're not supposed to sit there and gripe about them. Anyway, moving on here, we've got coming around the corner here of the new comic book section. We've got this one right here, a new one, issue number 1 on Image Comics. This is Post Americana. Issue number 1. Obviously, it's kind of in a post-apocalyptic world. I don't know what this is about. I have no clues, but you know, I was like, hey, we're gonna check it out. We'll see how this is. Read it, do a review, and I don't know. I mean, it looks like kind of Image comic. You know, a lot of these publishers, whether it's Image, whether it's Marvel, DC, Aftershock. All of these publishers, they kind of all got their own little thing, their own little things, your expectations that you expect when you are reading their books. And this company by no means is not one of those companies. I mean, Image, when I think of an Image book, I kind of have, you know, an idea of what I expect out of the book, and they usually hit the mark just about every single time. And that's just when you're looking at art, when you're looking at the story, and just kind of what's going on. And hey, whether you like it or not, that's a totally different thing. Let me know what you guys think about Image Comics. I mean, how long they've been going now? Like 30 years now, has it been? It's got to be close to that. I don't know, probably more than that. But anyway, they've been doing some good things. And speaking of Image, on their Skybound label this week, we've got Stillwater, issue number 4, coming out from Chip Zdarsky. This series has actually been pretty good. You know, I was kind of iffy on this one until issue number 3 came out. Issue number 3 came out and really kind of, it did something within the story that hooked me, because the character where he's kind of this fish out of water or a fish into water. I'm not sure how you would explain that, but the situation that he finds himself in, where he's sitting there trying to outsmart the people of this town to try to get out of it, that set up something in this story that I thought was really cool. And I'm sorry if I did. That's not really spoilers for anything, but if you haven't read the story, you got to read it. Anyway, I'm not really going to go into that. Maybe in a review or something, but I really enjoyed Stillwater. Chip Zdarsky he's a pretty good writer, and like I said, Stillwater is doing it for me. I really do have enjoyed the series overall. Let's see. I think that's all of the ones we've got here in shot. Let's go ahead and move here on down the way. We've got one right here. I'm going to show you one of my favorite series out there. I've already actually dropped my review of this here on the channel, because the writer, David Andrew, actually sent me a copy of that, but that is Resonant, issue number 6. And you know what? In my review, I actually said that this was coming out the 11th, which was like not even a Wednesday, I don't think. And I also think that I said that it was issue number 7. I was so excited about this book coming out that, hey, I didn't know what day it was. I didn't know what issue it was. Hey, I didn't know anything. But what I did know is about this story and about how good it is. And that's the most important part, is it not? But it's out now. It's on shelves. You need to go buy this book. I really do enjoy it. Just some of the things going on in this story that I really do enjoy. I mean, I'm a parent myself. I've got 3 kids. The main character here in this story is a parent. He's got 3 kids. But that's not just it. It's just some of the things that actually happen in this book kind of make me just like, I don't know. It really hooked me into this story with what's going on within it. And I really enjoyed that. The next one we got here is Symbiote Spider-Man King in Black. Now, I'll probably read and review this one now. My biggest nitpick here with this is that it's King in Black, and it's like, can we just, like, not everything has to tie into the King in Black. I'm not really into the King in Black. I'm not really into Venom. Like, Venom's cool and everything, but like, not everything has to tie into the King in Black. And you know what? You're doing it with Symbiote Spider-Man, but they've been doing them in little 5-issue miniseries anyway, and I've enjoyed what what Peter David and Greg Land have done with this series overall. They've got the same team on all of these books. This is the 3rd series they're starting now, and it's been an enjoyable story. I like what Peter David does with the writing. I mean, they're actually just pretty well written, and the art in the book. I know there's people out there that are gonna have things to say about Greg Land, but is a pretty good artist, and I enjoy the work that they do in this book. But let me know what you think about Symbiote Spider-Man down in the comments below if you've been reading that as well. The next one is on Heavy Metal Comics, and this one is Tarna, issue number 1. Now, this is a new series. I know Heavy Metal has been getting more into comic books and things here lately. Here over this last year, they've kind of stepped in a little bit to more of that realm. And this one right here, like Heavy Metal when I was a kid was something like, you know, like I remember seeing it when I was a little kid when it came out. It was just a perfect thing of blending animation, the movies, and music all in one. It was just something that was so cool. And there are things in that movie like I remember from when I was a little kid. I remember the way it felt that first time watching it, and just some of those things. You remember when they're in the courtroom rolling the little ball around, like you know, hand over fist, and dude, I'm telling you, like some of those scenes are burned into my memory from when I was a little kid. Don't get me started on David Cronenberg movies. But anyway, point being, it's based on all that. It's obviously Tarna, so hey, you know, you caught my interest. I'm gonna read it and see how it is, and that cover's pretty nice. Like, look, that covers pretty nice too. I mean, look at the, you know, all the colors and everything. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. The next one got here is Taskmaster. This one is issue number 2. I'm gonna read and review this one now. I think Taskmaster is a cool character, but issue number 1 on this series, it just really did not do it for me. Like, it was kind of like, what are they doing here with Taskmaster? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like he wasn't like quite the badass that I feel like he should be. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you read Taskmaster issue number 1 and what you thought of it. If you enjoyed it or whatnot. I don't know. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was just maybe I wanted a little bit more. My expectations were a little bit more than what they gave me. Now, another book coming out this week. This one's on Red 5 Comics. That's Machine Girl and the Space Invaders, issue number 2. This is a 4-issue miniseries. Last year, the first series came out, and I thought it was, you know, I saw it here, the comic shop, and I read it. I'm like, yeah, it's not too bad. The art in here is pretty good. The story in here is pretty decent. I mean, it does seem a little bit, you know, like other things you've probably read before, but hey, I mean, when you're getting into like cyberpunk or even superheroes, like how far do you really have to go to do something original? It's something within the story itself, not just in, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot of tropes that you're going to be falling into no matter what. But I've really enjoyed Machine Girl overall. The next one we've got here is another series I really do enjoy. That's Savage Avengers. This one's issue number 16. I like this series. Jerry Dugan doing a great job writing this series, but I have been pulling less and less Marvel and DC. We're almost done with it. This is one that sadly I'm not going to continue pulling just because, you know, I'm done. I'm going indies. We're going all in on the indies, man, because Savage Avengers has been a pretty good series. Now, what's the next one? Oh, the next one here on Aftershock Comics is another one that I really did enjoy the first book. That's Miskatonic, issue number 2. The first book was really interesting. What it is it takes place back in the 1920s, before the FBI became the FBI, because we see, what was it? Oh, man, I can't remember. Who founded the FBI? You know who I'm talking about. My thing is it J. Edgar Hoover? No. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, it's dealing with a lot of that, where we're seeing it's just the Bureau of Investigations, and what they're doing is they're sending out. They basically fired a whole lot of people. They went through a bloodbath there. It kind of almost sounds like the offices of Marvel and DC these days. Well, they kind of went through there and did that. They went through there and did that. They fired a whole bunch of people. Well, one of the main characters here, she's like, hey, man, like, I'm working on this stuff. And, like, you know, and because what she was doing was she had a lot to do with the Mann Act. And so she was out there doing these investigatory things. And she showed him some of these cases, this new supervisor, some of the things that were going on. And she's like, hey, you know, like, I've got real work to do here. Like, it's all good that you want to fire me, but you're not firing me. And he looked at her work and he's like, oh, well, we appreciate your discretion and all the work you've done. You're not fired. Matter of fact, we got something going on over in the Miskatonic Valley that we could really use your expertise and your discretion on. And she goes there to into this town, and there's some really weird things going on there. And with these fish people and stuff like that. I know, it's really weird. They were having a big fish people orgy. Yeah, I know, right? I know. That's the thing. Hey, Miskatonic, Aftershock Comics. You can't beat Aftershock Comics for some of the stories that they tell. They're just like I said, all these independent publishers, they kind of have this expectation, something that you expect out of them. They definitely got that there. And over at Aftershock, and with that book, definitely another one that I'm really enjoying on Aftershock Comics. Now, Marvel Comics this week, we've got New Mutants issue number 14 coming out. This book right here, I thought New Mutants was actually a pretty decent read. And just some of the things going on here. But the thing here about this issue is, again, it's talking about some of the stuff that we've already read and know about. And we see even like last week's issues, there were some things going on in there with the 6, if you know what I'm talking about, from Sword. But things that we know with the 5 and things that we've seen in other issues where they've talked in X-Men where the mutants are coming together and using their powers and how they can both, they can combine their powers to do cool stuff. Well, they're kind of going into that in New Mutants issue number 14. Once again, I just thought it was a little odd that they're covering some of these things again, right? I don't know. Anyway, so the next one I've got here is on Boom Studios, a book I've really enjoyed. It that is Once and Future issue number 14. And I've got to say, like, this is one of those series, and you guys have probably heard me talk about here on the channel, where it's one of those series, like, I feel like they're just like dragging it on, but like the story is good. Like I want to stop pulling it, but I can't stop pulling it because it's doing just that. It's got its hooks in me enough to keep me reading it. And plus, I mean, the art team in there. I mean, Kieran Gillen doing a great job writing it. But you got Dan Moore doing the art, and Tamara Bonneville coming in and doing the colors makes this book freaking rad. I love it. And I'm telling you, and I'm telling you, and I've talked about this here on the channel plenty of times. I hear people talk about this book all the time. They talk about Kieran Gillen's writing. They talk about Dan Moore's art, but nobody ever talks about Tamara Bonneville's colors. And I'm telling you, this book would not be what it is without Tamara Bonneville on colors. I'm telling you, it just wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same. That's all I'm saying. So if you're doing reviews on that book, you better shout out Tamara Bonneville for doing those colors because, well, does a good job. Anyway, moving on into Vault Comics, another one of my favorite series. That's Sarah and the Royal Stars, issue number 10. This is the last book in this series. Absolutely love this book. What it's doing, it's kind of playing on mythology of like astrology, and like the stars and stuff. Yeah, I know. Look, just pick on me down in the comments below. It's okay. Sarah and the Royal Stars is an excellent book. I'm sad to see it come to an end. I actually kind of hope that Sarah gets caught up in something here and has to continue on in a new story arc so we can get another 5 issues because I really do enjoy this one. I mean, the story's been good. The art in it's good. The colors in it are good. Like, in Vault Comics, you know how they, like I was saying, you know, when you get a new comic from a publisher and they have that expectation, like when I open up a Vault comic, especially Sarah and the Royal Stars and the paper it's printed on and I look at it and it's such beautiful and you do the smell test on it, right? You get that, it's got that beautiful smell. I'm telling you, Sarah and the Royal Stars, love it. Love it. Loving this series. Now, what else do we got here? Another one, I'm probably going to have to check this one out. I wasn't aware that this was coming out. I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but this one is by Robert Kirkman, Solid Blood, a new one on Image Comics. Did I miss this one? Did somebody not tell me about this? Do I need to check this out? Let me know down in the comments below if I should read this, buy it, check it out, and do a review. I didn't even know about it, and I swear I did. Didn't we do the previews? Myrtle Maniacs. Let me know down in the comments below. Did we go over the previews and talk about this book, and I just forgot about it? I didn't put it on my pull list or something? Maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe it's because it was Robert Kirkman, and you know, like with the firepower thing, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it's good, but you know, I kind of read it, you know, seen it before. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was being me. Now, the next one I've got here is on another one on Aftershock Comics. Like I said, one of my favorite publishers out there. That's We Live, issue number 2. Another great book. I've enjoyed this series so far. Through the first 2 issues, we see as these kids are they're traveling. Actually, it's not just kids. They're traveling to these destinations because the world is getting ready to meet a catastrophic event. And this alien race of people have come around and said, hey, trust us. We're good people. Bring us your kids. We're going to take the kids out into space and we're going to make a new Earth and everything's going to be good. It's okay. You can trust us. And people are doing it, right? Like, I'd be like, no, sorry. Maybe, kids, maybe you're just doomed to die with me on Earth. I don't know. But anyway, some cool stuff going on here. But the really cool stuff is like, not only is that suspect, but the journey that's going on here from them getting to these meeting centers where they were all going to be picked up at. They're being escorted to these stations, to these ships where they're going to shoot off into space. So it's really the journey of that. But that's all I have for my comic books that are here on the main rack. I do have a couple others over here that I had ordered special in, and maybe couple that have sold here off of the rack already that I want to show you guys that I'm excited to read for sure. Guys, one of my favorite series that I've been reading here on Behemoth Comics is this one right here. And that is Hotline Miami Wildlife. This is issue number 4, guys. This series is so good. It's violent. It's got it's placed like it's a game. It was based on a video game. I think it's on PC. But it's violent. It's got violence. It's got drugs. It's like, what else could you want? Violence and drugs. I mean, come on, right? I know. I know. What else do you need? Okay. Maybe we're missing sex and rock and roll too, right? But hey, you got the other two right here, and hey, that's got to be worth it. Now, the other one that I've got here was another one. I've never heard of this comic book publisher. This is obviously a #1, so it's a new series. But this is on Floating World Comics, and that's Night Hunters, issue number 1. Now, I got to flip this around, let you see that back cover, too. That's pretty cool. Now, the one reason they definitely got me on board with this is, you guys know me here, man. I'm a sucker. All you got to do is put, if they just named every book, like comic book, like they give it a title or something that's just put cyberpunk in there somewhere, like in the description, like, hey, what is this about cyberpunk? Hey, you got me. I'm going to read it. I'm a sucker. What can I say? So there's that. And then this is another one. They didn't have this cover here, but you guys know how much I love these Joseph Michael Linzer covers. Deja Thoris, issue number 9. Look at that guy. Just look at that cover. Yeah. I'm telling you, I think Joseph Michael Linzer must really enjoy the Deja Thoris character, or maybe he's just good at liking this, drawing this character. Maybe I just like it when he does this character, because I've seen other covers that he does for some of the other books, and I'm telling you, I think he does Deja Thoris the best out of all of them. Now, I just realized there was a couple more books that did come out this week that aren't here on the main part of the shelf either. Forgot. They're over here in the overflow section. I'm up here towards the front of the store, and you can see we're kind of taking a walk here around to look at everything. But here we go, right here. I almost forgot. How could I forget? This week we've also got Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, issue number 2. This is an anthology series. Now, I think, to be fair to this Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, I don't think I'm really into anthologies, because like the first one I read, I'm like, the art and everything, the story. I'm like, you only get a few pages that you're sitting there really getting any story, and I just want, story. I don't want I want a full story. Like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do like the 5-6 issues, why don't you do that with by just giving one issue each a full story? I think that would be better, but maybe that's just me. Let me know down in the comments below if you read Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, and if you did, and what you thought of it. The other one I've got here is I've really enjoyed this one. One of my favorite series in the Dawn of X. That's X-Force issue number 15. I'm really interested to get into this one and read it and see what's going on here with the X-Force, considering everything that was going on right before we went into the Ten of Swords. This is kind of where it's picking back up at. But guys, that's all I have for my comic book pull list this week, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you have on your comic book pull list, and maybe we'll talk about a little bit more about that next week. Leave any comments that you have. You can see. Check it out. That's it. It's a comic book shop. You guys have seen me go on some tours of it before. See right behind that door. When things are normal, when when, you know, with the pandemic and everything, normally what they have back there is on weekends they have card tournaments, because you can see over here on the walls they've got like all like the magic decks and all that stuff, and they do a lot of that stuff. Really cool stuff that they've got going on over here. But yeah, guys, that's my comic shop, Bases Cards and Comics, right here in Lancaster, California. And this is my comic book pull list video. Guys, let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and what's on your comic book pull list this week. I would like to hear from you and everybody else out there. Thank you all so much for being here on 2nd Street today. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings, I swear. But while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Marvel. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.